Okay, so Brandon Graham and others low-key called out Deebo Samuels. Meanwhile, Cowboy CeeDee Lamb actually told the truth about the Eagles fan base. But that's not all. Devonta Smith just told us which rookie impressed him the most out of mandatory minicamp. Plus, 8 of the Eagles' 11 starting defensive players are 25 or under. And I just saw the most ridiculous article ever to be written on the internet about Jalen Hurts. But first, happy birthday to the best wide receiver in the NFL, A.J. Brown, who just turned 28.
Grab your autograph real quick.
What is going on, everybody? I go by Philly Mike, and it's the Philly Talk Podcast. If you rock with our Philadelphia Eagles, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on that notification bell so you don't miss the videos. So we got a little break in NFL news that takes a possible trade candidate that has been linked to the Eagles off the table. Adam Schefter tweeted a little bit ago, ESPN sources, Steelers trading 3-time All-Pro safety Minkah Fitzpatrick to the Dolphins in exchange for 3-time All-Pro cornerback Jalen Ramsey. It's not often you see a player-for-player trade, but that is not all that went down via this trade. Adam Schefter came out a little bit later and said, all in all, the Steelers get Jalen Ramsey and tight end Jonnu Smith. Dolphins get Minkah Fitzpatrick and a late-round pick. Now, if you remember correctly, Minkah Fitzpatrick was drafted by the Dolphins and traded to the Steelers. Now he's going back home to the Dolphins, where he was the 11th overall pick. The Steelers get weaker at safety unless they let Jalen Ramsey play safety. However, the trio of cornerbacks, Big Play Slay, Joey Porter Jr., and Jalen Ramsey is interesting. Anyways, they're in the AFC. We don't got to deal with them unless they would make the Super Bowl. We don't play the Steelers in 2025, so let's get back to some Eagles talk. Starting with Cooper DeJean winning MVP of Devonta Smith's charity softball game, the offseason of Coop continues. This man, Cooper DeJean, can do it all. Basketball, baseball, football. He started a podcast this offseason. He's getting mobbed by fans. Everybody loves Cooper DeJean. Devonta Smith was asked about the popularity of Cooper DeJean, and this is what he said.
I don't want to see it, but I want to see it. He's a white guy playing DB, so it doesn't happen often. So when it does happen, everybody loves it.
It's all love at the end of the day, but he's right. We haven't seen a white cornerback play in the NFL in a while, especially one as good as Cooper DeJean. So let's bask in it. I'm telling you, he fits Philly. Philly loves him, and he's really up there when it comes to fan favorites. As for another question asked to Devonta Smith, you got to hear what the question was and the answer.
Devonta, any rookie that has stood out to you during the OTAs and the mandatory training camp?
The guy from was it Texas, the safety.
Mukuba.
Yeah. I couldn't say his name. So.
Interesting. Again, being asked which rookie stood out at OTAs and mandatory minicamp, he had 10 plus people to pick from, and he picked Andrew Mukuba. Although he can't say his name, and some of y'all get on me for putting the M in there a couple times, I've been better. I've been saying Andrew Mukuba, not Mukumba. So again, Devonta Smith will learn his name, especially if he continues to impress. They continue to ask what stood out from him during mandatory minicamp. Devonta Smith said, and I quote, just seeing him out there, seeing the way he moves around, things like that, the way he goes about his business, said Smith about what he liked. The more and more I watch this guy's tape from an all-22 perspective, the more I think it is a Vic Fangio's pick, a guy who can play in the slot if he needs to, can move in the box, although he's smaller in frame. He's not afraid to hit. He has range. He got ball skills. He has attitude, but he's a hard worker. We all know that Howie Roseman and his scouts get busy during the draft season. However, there's not many coordinators that Howie Roseman probably respects more than Vic Fangio. And with Howie Roseman being front and center, watching the growth of this defense in 2024 under Vic Fangio, how could you question him? Again, remember, Howie Roseman wanted Zach Bond to be an edge rusher / special teamer. And Vic Fangio watched tape and said, nah, bro, he's a linebacker. Howie said, okay, we'll get him on the cheap. And he became an all-pro. So why would anybody question Vic Fangio? Honestly, every selection on the defensive side most likely got the stamp or approval from Vic Fangio. Now, before we continue, let's do a quick Eagles giveaway. To enter, all you got to do is hit the like button, be subscribed to the channel. If you ain't, hit the button right now and turn on the notification bell so you're notified when we drop videos and announce the winner. Lastly, go to the comment section and type in dagger. If this video gets over 20K views and 1,100 likes, we will pick 1 or 2 people to win a Devonta Smith dagger shirt. The winner will be announced at the end of this week. So go do what you gotta do. So let's move on to something I saw on Twitter, but it is an actual article. The guy who wrote it had to know that nobody in their right mind who is an Eagle fan would believe this. He gotta be an absolute hater. I don't know how you could sit down and type this article up. By Sam Scott on June 29, 2025. Jalen Hurts emerges as a top Eagles trade candidate amid team strategic roster shakeup. Bro, Sam Scott, are you okay? I am literally worried about your mental health. How could you type this on a computer? You had to just be trying to create some drama. But even people who create drama make it a realistic topic or semi-realistic. This is just ridiculous. Trade MVP Super Bowl champion. I can't, bro. Moving on to a graphic that makes sense on why the Eagles will repeat, Daniel tweeted, Cooper DeJean is 22 years old. Quinyon Mitchell is 23 years old. Jalen Carter is 23 years old. Jalix Hunt is 23 years old. Nolan Smith is 24 years old. Nakobe Dean is 24 years old. Jordan Davis is 25 years old. And Reed Blankenship is 25 years old. That is 8 players on an 11-man starting defense who's under 25. Again, we lost some pieces, but the core, the youth, all the talent is still here. Meanwhile, they're going to be in Fangio's system for the second year in a row, and he gets to continue to mold them, just like he's molded so many players in the past. When I looked at the comment section, a lot of people didn't realize Reed Blankenship was 25 years old. People thought this man was like 28 years old. Now, granted, the Eagles do got to extend him, which I do think will happen sooner or later. Maybe right around the season start and or during the season, because the 2025 season is the last season for him unless a deal happens. But when you look at the Reed Blankenship Eagle connection, especially with the exciting mics, I think you can get a multi-year deal done that won't break the bank. I think Reed Blankenship really wants to be a Philadelphia Eagle, and it makes sense. Last year's coverage stats from Reed Blankenship: 39 receptions allowed on 48 targets, 423 yards allowed, only 1 touchdown, 4 interceptions, a 75.6 passer rating when targeting him in 720 coverage snaps, which is something we need to keep on this team long term. Flipping things over to fan bases in the NFC East, of course, we all know the Eagles are not just the best fan base in the NFC East, it's the whole NFL. But look at this question asked to CeeDee Lamb.
Who has a more passionate fan base, the Eagles or the Cowboys?
I can answer that.
Eagles.
Eagles?
They're crazy. Our Cowboys, our fans are deep, but they not. I don't want to say nothing crazy, but the Eagles got it.
Dan Orlowski was about to tell CeeDee Lamb, bro, don't lie. I know it's the Eagles. But CeeDee Lamb didn't lie. He told the truth. You don't get that often from Dallas Cowboy players and or fans, truth-telling, but the Eagles fan base is A1. Lastly, a surprise guest to the Devonta Smith charity game was Commanders fan, but more importantly, content creator Rondo. And BG has some shit to talk about the Commanders and so did T.O.
Nobody said we coming. You know we got Deebo.
It's gonna be between us two. I wouldn't worry about him. He gotta be in shape first. He don't look like he in shape right now.
What?
He gonna do his thing.
Everybody keeps saying Deebo fat.
He is, man. He is. What you mean?
He just big bone, you know what I'm saying?
Nah, ain't no big bone. That's what you say when girls are fat. Hey, that's the term you use when you don't want to call a girl fat.
Oh,
you say they big bone. He about 2 chicken nuggets from being tipping the scale.
Oh my, all right.
Hey, Deebo, my guy though. I love Deebo. Hey, man, Deebo, we had a conversation.
Yo.
They know what the deal is.
BG straight told him he got to get in shape. We gonna beat the Commanders. And then T.O. said he's a couple chicken nuggets away from being overweight and or tipping the scale. At the end of the day, we'll see what Deebo looks like his first year in Washington. He'll probably be in better shape by the season. But remember this clip from OTAs? He look a little fat. He look a little slow. He look a little sluggish, getting in and out of his breaks. I don't know. Again, OTAs walked through. People were saying he wasn't trying to run. Again, we will see. Simply because the Eagles will play the Commanders not once, but twice. And if they make the playoffs and do what they need to do, maybe even 3 times. With all that being said, once again, happy birthday to A.J. Brown, who's always wide open. Leave your thoughts in the comment section. I absolutely love hearing from you. Do what you got to do to get entered into the shirt giveaway, the dagger. And last but not least, muscle up if you're Philly strong. Like, subscribe, turn on the notification bell, and I'll catch you on the next one. We out.